Hello everyone, in today's video we will learn to pull option chain data into Google Sheets for Nifty, Bank Nifty or for any of the shares which are being traded in a finance segment. We will start with a blank sheet like this and then we will build up a step by step to have option chain data in Google Sheet like this. So to achieve this we will be using certain formulas of Google Sheet which are import HTML, max, sparkline, array formula or query formula. Even if you are a beginner to Google Sheets and are not aware about these formulas, please don't worry because I would be explaining everything from scratch and you will be able to build option chain data in Google Sheet like this. I will also be sharing the limitations of this, under which circumstances you can use this for your decision making and under which circumstances you should not use. Let's go to building the sheet from the start. So the very first thing you have to do is to freeze the website from where you want to pull your data from. So here I have listed down 3 websites. So this is NSE website where we have contracts for Nifty and this is expiry date 15th Feb 2024. So we have option chain data on this web page like this in a table format. Then we have Nifty Invest website and here we have option chain data like this. So please see this URL and this is for Nifty and 15th February and same is incorporated in your URL as well. If I change this to 22nd Feb, then this URL has changed. So these URLs are key and based upon these URLs we will try to pull this data. Similarly on the money control website you can see this URL is for 15th Feb Nifty. If I change it let's say for another expiry date, let's say 29th Feb, then this URL had changed to 29th Feb and Nifty. So this is the key to pull the data, this URL, and definitely this URL will be unique for a particular kind of an index and a particular expiry. We will use import HTML function to do all this and we will be pulling data for 15th February Nifty from the money control website itself. We will not be able to use the NSE website because of certain security reasons. Our function import HTML in Google Sheet will not work. Earlier it used to work from the NSE website as well. And Nifty Invest website, we have to do one level of manipulation in the data to process it further. So I would be doing it from the money control. So the first function is import HTML. So what import HTML does is it imports data from a table or a list in an HTML page. So all these are HTML page and this is the table, right? And so you have to pull this data and you have to give this command over here. So I'm writing equal to and then you have to type import HTML. Then let's see the syntax. So URL. So URL from which you want to pull this data from. So this is the URL. And since URL is a string, I need to pass it in double quotes. And then second parameter is query, means from this URL whether you are trying to pull a table or a list. So here I want to pull a table. So again it's a string, so double quotes. And third parameter is index, means which table number. So within a web page there can be multiple table numbers, and to figure out table number mostly it's a trial and error thing, or you can do a right click on the web page and go to element and try to understand from this HTML code which table number is there. So I know this is table number 2, so I would be using index as 2. Fourth parameter is local, so I can keep it blank, then it will take the local setting of this spreadsheet, and then I have to close the parenthesis. So you can see this has nicely pulled the data from the website of money control. So here we have data of calls and here we have data of puts in the right side. Similarly, I can also use this URL to pull the data from Nifty Invest website. What I need to do, I need to only change this URL over here. Yeah, so it is not pulling the data because here the table number is not correct. So I know the table number is 1. So that is why I am putting it table number 1 in the formula. So now this has pulled the option chain data from Nifty Invest website, and here you can see there is some issue actually in this data. So for example, this you can see, so this is right aligned, means this is a number, but this is left aligned, so this is a text. So there are a lot of that kind of issue is in this data. So you have to firstly manipulate this data to convert everything into number format, so you can create bar graph, etc. like that. So that is why I am choosing the money control website, but definitely you can pull it from the Nifty Investor website as well. So I'm restoring this import HTML function from the money control website. So next, to build an option chain data like this, firstly let's figure out the headers. Here I have written all these headers over here. Call side is marked in red and put side is in green, because put means from option selling point of view, that is a bullish signal, so that's why green. And call from option selling point of view means bearish sentiment is the market, that is why it in red. So here we will pull OI change and volume last traded data of call from here. So what I can do, one thing is I can directly write equal to this, and then I can write this for this. So this will give me this data over here. But this is a cumbersome task. So rather what I will do is I will use an array formula. So array formula tries to pull the data from an entire column or from a range. So here I am typing A3 and till where? Till A, entire column A. So this I have written. Here there is a data, that is why you can see there is a error. The result was not expanded. So I would delete that. So here you can see now you have all these OI data populated over here with a single formula. However, I want OI change and volume, all three data set over here. So what I can do is, instead of writing A3 to A, I will write A3 to C. So now this will extract this entire data set range over here. So now we have OI change and volume data over here. This can also be done from query formula. So here I have listed it down from the query formula. That would be query and then give the range and then select the relevant columns. But I understand query is a bit complicated formula, but it's a very versatile formula. If you are very familiar with the query formula, you can use query formula as well. But I am using here array formula for demonstration purposes. Then we have last traded price. So change in LTP is not needed. This I am interested in LTP, a strike price, and again LTP. So this LTP is for put option. And again, I would not be interested in change in LTP because I am not pulling that data. For that, I am writing here equal to array formula. And then this E3 to, I want data till G. So now we have a last traded price. Next is the volume, OI change and OI. So which for the puts, which is over here. So again, I am writing an array formula till K. So this is the range. So now we have option chain data values over here in the numerical format. Now we only need to create the bar charts over here. So for that, we would be using the Sparkline function of Google Sheets. So what a Sparkline usually does is, let me demonstrate you. Here we have a value, let's say 15 and 30. So if I want to create a Sparkline, for that, I have to type a Sparkline. It creates a miniature chart within a single cell. The syntax is equal to a Sparkline. You have to give the data point. So this is the data, and then you can control a lot of things over here from the second parameter, and you can see the second parameter is optional. Here we will be creating bar chart. However, there you can create 4 kind of chart over here. So our interest is bar chart. So I'm just typing it over here. Same if I drag it down. So here also, but the issue over this is this, that ideally I want the length of these bars to be relative, because if 15 and 30s are over here, so I want the length of 15 to be half. So that is why here second parameter comes into play, which is here max value. So here, and max value is 30, so I am writing it 30, and then I am closing the parenthesis. Yeah, so here this would be semicolon, and then I am dragging it down. So here you can see it gives us a very good relative picture about this. So we would be using this to create over this, and this second parameter of a Sparkline function, you can see you are passing a set of instructions in pair. So chart type and bar. So this is one set of instruction, and then you have to pass a semicolon. Then max value is 30. Then you can customize color, and you can do a lot of customization over here. So that we will be doing it here. So I'm deleting it. So equal to a Sparkline So what is the value I want to plot? So I want to plot here y, and then the chart type. The chart type is bar, and this max would be ideally I want to draw the length relative to this entire y in column x. So I will be using max formula over here, and relative value would be x3 to x. So whatever had been the maximum value, so that I would be using. So here you have a kind of a relative, you can see y bar. Now I want to change the color of this as well. So for that I am passing a semicolon and color 1 comma light green. So here it has created a green color of bar, but actually there is some issue in this. So when you have pulled the data from this, you can see at some places this is a dash, means this is a text. So it will create an issue for us. I will show you what issue it will create. Yeah, so it has returned us an NA. Well, to solve for this hash NA issue for all textual values, we can pass another set of instruction in this Sparkline function. So for text values, what you can do is you can provide a fourth set of instructions to this Sparkline function. Since this is a new instructions, I need to pass a semicolon, and then for text values you need to pass nan, and what you need to do to these text value, you need to convert them to 0. So you have to write it as convert, and that solves for us. Now let's see how it is panning out here. I am dragging it down, doing Control D. So you can see for these there is no bar because it has converted it to 0. So here we have the bar charts available. If you are liking our content, please subscribe to the SheetMetric channel and like the video. So let's make now this y change bars. So for that I would be copying this formula, and here y change is in w column. So instead of x3 I want this as w3, and again the max value would be from w column, so that would be w3 from w, and color here I am giving as green. So now I am dragging it down, Control D. So now we have nicely populated bar charts for y change. Let's write the same thing for volume. So I have the formulas copied. So volume is coming from column V. So instead of X, this would be V. And this max value would be the max of column V. So V3 to B. And here color, let's say I am doing dark green. And then dragging it down. So here we have the bar for the volume as well. Similarly, we can create these bars for call side. So I'm creating that for you. I have just copied the formula. So y is in column P. So this would be P3, and max would be of the column P. And since this is a call, let's make it light red. So there is 2 double mark. So here the bar is very less, that is why it's not visible. So let's try to drag it down. So now we have the bars for this as well available. I'm just freezing it, the headers. Next, I would be very quickly writing down the formulas in these two, and then I will be telling you when you can use this and when you should not use this. So for call AI change, I have values lied in column Q, so Q3, and then this would be max of Q3 to Q. Color is red. Here call OI volume would be coming from column R, so I'm changing the formulas accordingly. And here dark. So now we have nicely created option chain values. So let's try to format it better. So I'm changing the width of these, doing a right click. You can do formatting, etc. over here, but you have this nicely built option chain data into a spreadsheet. Why it is useful in the spreadsheet is that in a spreadsheet you can do a lot of analysis, like you can apply filters, you can apply conditional filters, etc. Another kind of averaging, a lot of data points you can build and make decisions on it. But in web page you don't have those kind of freedoms available, so that is why this is useful. Also, this data is a little delayed. This is not coming on a real time, so if you are if you are a very active trader who does decision makings on 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute kind of a time frame, then this will not be help you in the decision making. But if you are a trader who wants to see this as snapshots once in a while on a daily level, or for 2-hour interval, 3-hour interval, then you can just refresh this page. Then all this data will be updated, so you can take your decisions accordingly. So that's all for this video, guys. If you're liking our content, please subscribe. I am also making an entire playlist around Google financial related functions, so please check out this playlist and this video. So see you guys in those videos. Thank you. Bye.